Okay, what is going on, CYPRX YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, and foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. There is a lot of you who are not subscribed to the page. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just click that button, hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss any future uploads. Really do appreciate the love and the support. The channel is growing. We are almost already at 6,000 YouTube subs. So again, we really do appreciate it. In today's video breakdown, I'm going to cover some Cspr technical analysis as well as go over the trade from yesterday's breakdown on LCX, show you guys how we are still currently floating in profit and how I dollar cost average into a Cspr position, showing you guys why I'm building my portfolio on LCX and Cspr as of right now as my main two cryptocurrencies that I'm looking to purchase in this temporary bear market. So make sure that you guys stick around for this YouTube video, smash that thumbs up button, share this YouTube video if it does help you guys out. And again, we really do appreciate the love and support. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video breakdown. Going over to LCX first before we jump into the Cspr analysis, I just want to show you guys how from yesterday's breakdown, if anybody watched that, you guys can see currently from our entry point, we are still floating in profit. I'll measure that out for you guys. We entered here during Asia session, and currently where price action is at right now, we are about 6% in profit. Same thing on Cspr. We put in a dollar cost average position that has just roughly made about 6% in returns, trying to see what happens with this cryptocurrency market. Is the bottom in? Is it not? We don't know. We are looking and seeking to dollar cost average in at lows properly, and we have done such. Okay, as you guys can see, properly buying at lows, utilizing the CYPRX strategy, we are still floating in profit. If this market does depreciate in value, we will utilize the strategy to put in more dollar cost averaging positions. But the reason why I'm seeking to fill up my LCX and Cspr bags in this temporary bearish market is for a reason. From its all-time highs on both Cspr and LCX, we are sitting at around a 90 to 94% discount. Now, from where I think that the bottom could come in, the downside exposure is extremely limited on both assets. Okay, so if we go to the higher time frame, let's just go to the daily on LCX, where I think that this crypto could bottom out at, we are extremely low and close to that area. So in my personal opinion, the lowest that I think LCX could go, if Bitcoin does break that $28,000 threshold, which currently at the moment we are holding steady above $29,000, what I think could happen on LCX is we could push anywhere down into the 6 cent to 6.5 cent psychological level to come and liquidate the lows here. However, right now we are currently bottoming out. So the reason why I'm purchasing LCX and Cspr is again because the downside is limited, but the upside potential and risk to reward is extremely prevalent. Okay, where we can see that from its all-time high on LCX, from where current price action is, if we were just to return to its all-time high, that is almost a 800% return. All right, that is insane for ROI. Now, same thing with Cspr. Now that I've shown you guys that this trade is still currently floating in profit from our dollar cost average position yesterday, where we utilized the CYPRX strategy. If you guys missed that YouTube video, go ahead and watch that. It's uploaded. It was uploaded yesterday at some point in time. I don't really remember, but going over to Cspr, let's just break down that dollar cost average position, kind of the same confluences, different price action. Again, we understand that the market can make the same patterns multiple times, but the market reacts in different ways to different psychological levels, things of that nature. What we're looking for is the market to show us a sign and a willingness after grabbing liquidity to go higher and break previous market structure. Only then, when price is discounted or we see a discounted opportunity after that market break in structure, are we looking to enter into price action. All right, so at least here at CYPRX, that is what we aim to do. Currently, same price action kind of anticipation on Cspr token. We are sitting at around 6% in profit from where we entered in at. Now, if we turn on the session indicators and we look at where we entered in at, same entry criteria for LCX, where we see the market grab liquidity beneath lows. And I had mentioned to you guys in the previous YouTube video, which I'm going to play for you all real fast, that we could tap into 4.5 cents. So before I go over this breakdown, I just want to share that with you guys just to show you all the clarity that I'm attempting to give you guys here on this YouTube channel. Let me play the snippet for you all from a video that I shared to you all a couple of days ago. I showed you guys on the previous YouTube video, if we break this low, there's a lot of liquidity from all the buyers that took place when we had that listing, in March on Cspr, where we had this bullish impulsive move. Okay, so the question is can we hold this low? And if not, most likely the bearish targets that I've put out to you guys of anywhere between 4.5 cents to 3, maybe 3.5 cents will most likely come into fruition, where the market makers will dump into this area to grab this liquidity one last time before then going higher. So All right, so just so that way you guys know that I'm not giving you guys any fluff here and that those targets did come into fruition, that was for the Cspr giveaway. You guys can see here 4.5 cents, we smacked into that psychological level to the T. I'd mentioned to you guys that I will be looking for buy positions if we do hold above that psych level, and you guys can see how those came into fruition. The market showed us a willingness to dip beneath that psychological level, break back above it. It created right here was our entry criteria, a higher low after the liquidity grab. So here's the market showing us the willingness to break beneath a previous low, reverse, create a higher low, and show us momentum and volume back to the upside, breaking previous market structure highs. As you guys can see, we broke these previous market structure highs. The market pulled back, where all we simply did was we took our Fibonacci from the low to the high and entered in at a discounted price, taking my fib again from the low after the grab of liquidity, the higher low that is set in place, to the high that broke market structure. We can see where the entry was at around 79 to 80% discount. Now, something that I want you guys to take into consideration about the market is that market makers and whales are the only people who have the amount of money to move the market like this. The amount of money to manipulate the market in order to entice people to sell, then pump money and volume back into the market and reverse. When you see this pattern right here, where we see the market grab lows, show us a willingness to reject psychological levels and break previous market structure, you then know that bank and institutional traders and whales are heavily involved in this current market price action. So what we need to understand that if we want to move in tandem with the bank and institutions, we need to do what it is that they're doing. So when they show us a willingness to fail to push price action beneath psychological levels, we can take into consideration that what that means for us as retail traders is they have no interest in further discounted prices. Once they show us the willingness to grab liquidity or leverage positions, as you guys saw on my Twitter, I had mentioned to you guys that millions of people got liquidated in the form of leveraged positions on the cryptocurrency markets. This is exactly what it is that I'm talking about, okay? So the market forcefully pushed its way into a low and then showed us a willingness to stem higher. This is the market participants or the smart money showing us that they want to reverse price action, at least temporarily. So if we want to trade in tandem with that, we have to understand how to trade these markets properly via technical analysis. So showing you guys where my entry was, again, after the grab of liquidity, the higher low, significant to the grab of liquidity, broke market structure. All we simply did coming into this Asia session here in California, this was around 5 or 6 p.m., okay? And so the market reversed, came in a discounted price, which gave us the green light to say if we hold above the psychological level, 4.5 cents, we are going to be looking for a dollar cost average position in on Cspr, because most likely the bank and institutions are seeking discounted prices as well. Okay. And how you see, we came into 79% discount. We entered down here right above the 4.5 cent psychological level. And since then, we have seen an appreciation in our overall portfolio. It's a lot better than buying at a top and seeing a decline in your portfolio and just aimlessly guessing when the market is going to reverse or not. Regardless if you trade this strategy or not, learn how to buy at lows. Even if this market does depreciate in value to that original target of 3.5 cents that I'd mentioned to you guys, especially if Bitcoin goes sub 28,000, those market levels are most likely going to come into fruition. But as of right now, any price appreciation above 4.5 cents is going to make us money or give us an initial return on our investment. All right. So as always, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video breakdown. Simple dollar cost average strategy. The link is in the description down below for the mentorship. A couple of people have reached out to me via email. I respond back to emails within 24 to 48 hours. Seriously, do appreciate the love and the support. Before we hop off here, something that was mentioned to me by a CYPRX student. His name is Jamie. I thought that this was interesting. Shout out to Jamie for giving me this information. But Cspr Labs and CV Labs presents the Blockchain Hub Davos, a space that brings together decentralized thinkers, investors, and corporations. About this event, for 1 week on the year, Davos hosts a gathering of the world's most influential politicians, business leaders, representatives of civil society, culture, and science. Davos is returning in 2022, including top leaders from the blockchain space, and Cspr Labs and CV Labs are the people hosting this. The Blockchain Hub Davos 2022 will enable individuals to convene, learn, network, work on business deals, and demonstrate how blockchain is a key driver of the fourth industrial revolution. Here again, we see them mentioning that new world order, that change, that digital infrastructure that is being revolutionized in the world right now. By joining the Blockchain Hub in Davos, You have the opportunity to network and build meaningful connections and synergies with top leaders and investors in the blockchain space. So again, we see that this is being hosted by Cspr Labs. We understand how big Cspr Labs is in the market space for future potential in other past videos that I've gone over. Guys, in my personal opinion, again, not investing advice, Cspr Labs is going to be way much more than $1 plus in the future. Again, this is a long-term hold for me, potentially just dollar cost averaging in again on LCX and Cspr right now because they have the most limited downside potential in my personal opinion during this temporary bear market. That's not to say to spread your portfolio out amongst other cryptocurrencies, but for me right now, while the market is in a downtrend, I had taken some other positions on some other cryptocurrencies, but right now I'm filling my bags with Cspr and LCX to limit my risk and my exposure to this current market fluctuational cycle that we're experiencing right now. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you guys do so. I will actually put a link in the description down below instead of just having my Twitter name. You guys can click that link. It'll take you straight to my Twitter. The link for the email and as well as the CYPRX.teachable.com website is in the link in the description down below. If anybody is messaging you guys on WhatsApp or telling you to hit them up on WhatsApp or Telegram, we do not have a WhatsApp or a Telegram. We do not have an Instagram anymore. All we have is Twitter and YouTube, and the email and the CYPRX website. Any other platforms, any other outside resources, you guys don't click on them. Schedule a Zoom call with me if you are interested in signing up for the mentorship, so that way I can directly send you a link on the Zoom call. You can click on that so that way you know that you're not getting spammed or anything like that. Blessings to you guys all. You're more than welcome to message me on Twitter if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown. You guys have my bearish expectational targets for Cspr. Now, when it comes to bullish targets right here, before we get off here, now what I'm looking for from a bullish perspective on Cspr is for us to break above that 6-cent threshold. If we can break above that 6-cent threshold and medium of exchange, then most likely you're going to see a bullish reversal on Cspr. That for me will solidify more upside potential on Cspr. And until then, the downside play of 3.5 cents is still intact for me. However, on the way down or on the way up, I will be seeking to dollar cost average in on, again, coins like Cspr and LCX. Blessings to you guys. I'll see you in the next video breakdown.